Hello. This week we are exploring cultural diversity and cultural competence in terms of self-awareness. Much has happened in the field of cultural diversity and intergroup relations since cultural diversity. In the last 15 years, ethnic populations in the United States have continued to grow at an astounding rate. There has been a significant move towards conservatism in politics and a worsening economic climate. Both have contributed to the backlash against immigration and efforts to promote equity and social justice. The terrorist attacks of September 11, 2001, and the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan have changed our perception of the world and our place in it, ushering a widespread suspicion and animosity towards Arab and Muslim peoples. These trends made the United States a more dangerous place for those who are culturally different. With the election of Barack Obama, a biracial man of African descent, as the 44th U.S. president, many in the United States dared to hope that this event would mark the beginning of a new and more positive era of race relations. Although the deeply rooted effects of institutional and cultural racism are the most resistant to change, there were clearly discernible differences in the climate for ethnicity, identity, formation, and pride. The image of a black man in the White House and the increasing number of individuals of color in power, political positions, as well as the role models that these all offered, could not help but reinforce and strengthen the self-concept, ethnic identity, aspirations, and pride of children of color and other diverse populations. Their parents, in turn, have been heartened by these events and now dare to dream bigger dreams for their children's future. For these parents, something they had never conceived as possible, a person of color in the White House, had taken place. Today, in a sometimes confusing climate of race relations in the United States, with the constant movement toward greater racial equality through a more positive identification of diverse groups, social mobility, and population growth, and regression by way of disproportionate economic harm to minority populations, and fear of greater immigration numbers, the importance of training culturally competent human service professionals is all more that critical. The reality is that most service providers regularly, although unknowingly, discriminate against culturally diverse clients by lacking awareness, skills, and knowledge necessary to serve them competently. This fact is reflected in research that constantly shows that community facilities and services are underutilized by culturally diverse clients, especially those of color. Studies on culturally competent service delivery offer the following reasons for this. The first, mainstream agencies may inadvertently make clients feel uncomfortable or unwelcomed, as in the above-mentioned scenario. Clients may not trust the motives or abilities of providers because of past experiences they have had with the system. Clients perhaps may believe that they will not be understood culturally or will not have their needs met in a helpful manner. And lastly, clients may be unfamiliar with the kinds of services available or come from a culture in which such services are perceived very differently. As professionals, providers are expected to demonstrate expertise and competence in the services they offer. Cross-cultural service delivery should always be a priority for any agency providing social services and professionals within those social service agencies. Only by gaining the requisite awareness, knowledge, and skills necessary to be culturally competent can human service providers hope to actualize their professional commitment to non-discrimination and equal access to all clients. Discrimination in this context involves more than merely refusing to offer services to those who are racially or ethnically diverse. It also includes the following: being unaware of one's own prejudices and how they may be communicated inadvertently to clients, being unaware of differences in cultural styles, interactive patterns and values, and realizing how these can lead to miscommunication. Being unaware that many of the theories taught during training are culture-bound. Being unaware of differences in cultural definitions of health and illness, as well as the existence of traditional cultural healing methods. Being unaware of the necessary of matching treatment modalities to the cultural style of clients, or of adapting practices to the specific cultural needs of clients. In this course, often you'll hear the mention of, we must realize that prejudice and discrimination not only are manifested through individual acts of overt racism against people of color, but also can be reflected in our government leadership, educational system, places of employment, and the media. People of color, for example, do not occasionally experience racism. Rather, it is a constant, continuing, and cumulative experience from the moment of birth. Your following activity will provide an awareness, a self-awareness activity for you to take. In this course, we will do a pre-test, and at the end of the course, we will be conducting a post-test. Thank you.